Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. And today we're going to be talking about a very important topic in the cricket atmosphere, in this cricket space that we're living in at the moment, where T20 cricket is obviously the hype and it's the main talking point and the main discussions that are going around at the moment, particularly with the CSA T20 Challenge happening currently in South Africa, as well as the IPL happening very, very soon. We only got a couple of just over a week or so until the IPL kicks off, and then we're going to be basically the whole world's focus is probably going to be on that particular tour. But there's a bigger picture for South African cricket perspective. There's a bigger picture from a Proteas perspective that we need to keep our eye on, and that is the T20 World Cup. All my focus currently is when I'm watching the CSA T20 Challenge and when I go watch the IPL. It started with the SA20 already. My focus was on which players in the setup, in the domestic setup, are the ones that I'm going to be identifying as the ones that can possibly make that step up to the national side and the T20 World Cup side. But there's a particular question mark or particular concern that we do need to be made aware of that has been hampering us throughout the season so far, particularly this year, 2024. And that is the injuries to Nortje and Coetzee. I'm just going to go through some of the understanding behind that and what has taken place into that. And then I'm also going to have a look at some of the players that could possibly be replacements for these guys, or who can be backups for these guys if they are not in the T20 squad, or if they do pick up another injury. Because of the nature of the injuries that they have picked up in the past, this will obviously be something that is very, very important with regards to that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's very important that you guys do so, and click that notification bell for all future videos. I'd also like you guys to also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. And I'd also like you guys to become a part of our Cricket Fanatics Magazine Business Corner. If you own a business, you're an entrepreneur, or you own a cricket store, or you're a cricket coach, or you're a cricket psychologist or mental coach, Cricket Fanatics Magazine Business Corner is the place for you to learn about how to market effectively and affordably to a cricket audience in this current climate that we live in. So go ahead and go and become a subscriber there, and click on that particular link in the description to become a part of that particular community, where we do educate you on marketing and on how to market your business effectively and affordably in this global digital age that we live in. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Looking forward to discussing this topic with you guys. Sorry, guys, I don't know why the intro was on loop, but welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohideen, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And today we are going to be discussing a very important topic that I think needs to be covered with regards to the T20 setup and the current situation that we are living in, with the recent news that has been flying around with regards to two particular bowlers. Now, we all know that Gerald Coetzee and Heinrich Nortje are two very, very important players to the South African setup. And all formats, not just the T20 setup. And in recent times, we have been struggling with keeping both of them fit consistently. And it is a little bit of a concern for me because given the amount of cricket that we play, particularly, we don't play a lot of cricket in general. So it is a little bit of a concern that we are struggling to keep these two players fit consistently. But it is the reality that we are living with, and we need to understand what has gone on. So a lot of us have maybe had the discussions or maybe have had the thoughts on why Gerald Coetzee, first and foremost, was not available in SA20. Well, he picked up a groin injury. And since then, he's been working on recovering with regards to that injury. And it's unfortunate that a player so young is picking up hamstrings and stuff like that. Is not necessarily something that you would um, attach with younger players or younger players necessarily. We heard John O'Bird talk about this and it being an issue for him and him being so young and picking up those type of injuries. They are lengthy injuries and they're not very nice injuries to pick up because the chances of you picking it up again at a later stage is quite high after you've already had one. Now, it's not like a disease that once you get it and then you are susceptible to get it again. But if you do pull your hamstring or you do pull your groin muscles and you don't recover correctly or you don't do your rehab correctly, the problems can creep up again in the future. And that's just a concern for me with regards to a young player like Gerald Coetzee. Now, since he's picked up that injury, he hasn't played in the SA20, he hasn't played in the CSA T20 challenge, and as a result, he's been sent away with the MI medical team. So he's been sent to India to the IPL setup with the MI medical team to get his recovery in order so that he can be ready for the IPL. Now, this is something that is an issue for South Africa because he's a young, fast bowler for South Africa. He gives you that X factor with the ball, and he can add a little bit with the bat. When you look around the country for young replacements, there aren't many to go around. Now, yes, we do have a young player like Kwena Mapaka that has um, we have a player like Kwena Mapaka that has been really doing well in the CSA T20 challenge. He's already taken 7 wickets in his 4 matches played, and he's bowling at a decent economy rate of 6.46. So he has been putting up his hand within the CSA T20 setup, but I feel that it's a little bit too soon for a guy like him to get an opportunity into the setup. You would have maybe put Lungi Ngiri into the mix with regards to a potential player that could give us a little bit more solidity, but he too has been ruled out of the IPL now. He was ruled out of the IPL now with a serious injury. So that's also a major concern with regards to how we've managed Lungi. I mean, I don't think we've managed Lungi very well, or Lungi has managed himself very well when it comes to injuries. Um, and with regards to Kwena Mapaka as well, to ask him to give up uh, to ask him to leave school to go play in a T20 tournament at this stage in his career is not a very smart move, I think, for his development as well. And also, I think that we need to be a little bit patient with some of our younger players. They need to be able to develop themselves and get stronger. I feel by rushing someone like Kwena in now, he could be susceptible to the same injuries that someone like um, Gerald Coetzee has been faced with. So the question is that, and we know that Rob Walter, according to reports as well on ESPN, Cricinfo, and IOL as well, and other news agencies, Rob Walter will be keeping his eye on these particular players, Gerald Coetzee and Anrich Nortje. Now, I've covered Gerald Coetzee quite in depth up front here, but we also have got Anrich Nortje. Now, he's had quite a few injuries over the last years. He's missed 2 World Cups now, ODI World Cups, in the last 8 years, which is a problem. And also, um, that's a big problem for South Africa that we don't have him in the major tournaments. He now has a back stress fracture, back stress fracture, and he's now returned from that and started to play in the CSA T20 Challenge. He's played 2 games for the Warriors so far, He's done okay. He hasn't necessarily been he hasn't necessarily been that destroyer wicket taker for the Warriors this season so far in the two games, but he needs to slowly get himself into the momentum and the rhythm throughout the match. He's not going to the IPL quite yet because he's still waiting for the birth of his first child. So, so he's in South Africa currently waiting for that to happen, and then he'll be going off to the IPL. So Rob Walter's also going to be keeping a close eye on the likes of Anrich Nortje and making sure that he'll be okay heading into the World Cup. I feel that they're probably going to be monitoring the two players quite carefully. So when I look at replacements for those two guys and who can possibly come in, I would definitely have to say Otniel Bartman. I think that's probably one of the first players on my list when it comes to replacing the out and out bowler um, from a death bowling perspective. I think two players stand out. Sorry, Otniel Bartman and Nandre Berger. Those two players for me stand out as high targets, as high possible replacements for these two players because they offer the variations that we need with regards to bowling at the death, bowling with extreme pace, and being able to keep control in the middle. Both Otniel and um, both Otniel and Nandre Berger uh, are players that have been having good seasons. But Nandre recently picked up an injury that saw him miss a couple of games this season when it comes to the CSA T20 Challenge and the 4-day competition. And also he left to the IPL, so he didn't play the last game. He only played 2 games in the CSA T20 Challenge this season. So the IPL is going to be a massive opportunity for him to showcase his talent. We already got someone like Lazard Williams in the mix who had a very good SA20. He took 15 wickets in 9 games with an economy of 9.92. The only issue I have with Lizard Williams is that economy rate of 9.92. When you look at the likes of Bartman, 6.95 economy rate, and you look at Nandre Berger with a 7.94 economy rate in 11 games, in more games than Lazard Williams, it just gives you that extra bit of safety. This season so far, however, in the CSA T20 Challenge, Lazard Williams has been really good for 5 wickets, 4 games. With regards to economy rate, 6.56 is a brilliant economy rate compared to what he was bowling in the SA20. So those are some of the guys I feel that we can highlight. Those are some of the guys that I feel are decent replacements for the likes of Gerald Coetzee as well as Anrich Nortje if they start to have some issues. So I think squad selection is going to be important with regards to that because I think that we need to have the likes of Nandre and Otniel in and around the squad. We don't play enough international T20 fixtures for us to be able to really put our foot down and say, those players are going to get some game time heading into the tournament. So we're going to have to make a strong, bold decision when it comes to the squad and stick to certain amount of players and back them until the World Cup. But that just makes the CSA T20 Challenge towards the end very important for the likes of Otniel, very important for the likes of Lazard, and it makes the IPL very important for the likes of Nandre Berger, as well as the likes of Gerald Coetzee and Anrich Nortje. So that is my quick summary of it. Let's see what you guys have to say in the live chat. Lauren saying T20I status for SA at the African Games has officially been revoked. That's brilliant news because I don't think it will be fair to give players that would not even be close to Proteas call up international status. I spoke about that on the last show. Bryce Martin saying our bowling attack is going to suffer. Nortje and Coetzee are huge misses, and I'm not sure we have the domestic depth to recover it. Now, they are not currently out of the race. Let me just make that very clear. There is a slight concern because of the injuries that they picked up recently, but they are going to be monitored very closely by Rob Walter because of the injuries that they picked up recently. So they're not out of the running for the World Cup. By no means. They haven't been ruled out or not, whatever the case may be. It's way too early for that. But I just wanted to highlight that there is a concern about the injuries they picked up recently, and that Rob Walter will be keeping a close eye on their performances now in the IPL, as well as um, he has been keeping a close eye on them as well, leading up to um, this tournament. But particularly the IPL is going to be a very important factor where he's going to be keeping his eye on these players to see how they've recovered. Lauren saying injuries are becoming something of a real problem in the Proteas setup since Dr. Musaji and Greg Govender, our previous physiotherapist, has left the Proteas. That could play a role, maybe. Now, they do have a new um, medical doctor that they've appointed, a new CMO. Um, Ashendra Ramji has taken over from Musaji's, from the previous doctor. So you are right in saying Dr. Musaji and Craig Govender. Craig Govender was very, very important, I feel, to this Proteas team. He had a good relationship with the players too, so he understood them very well and worked with them at different levels. So I do think that was quite a hit and it is quite a miss. Those two have been excellent for the Proteas in the past, but we do have a new CMO. Um, he served as CMO for the first two editions of the SA20 and as team doctor for the Proteas men from 2019 to 2023. His notable contributions include serving as team doctor during 2021 and 2022 ICC Men's T20 World Cup in Dubai and Australia, respectively, and the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup in 2023 in India. So he has been a part of the setup, but now he's made officially the CMO. Prior to joining the national side, he was actively involved in domestic cricket structures with the Momentum Multiply Titans. Additionally, he has gained extensive experience across various sporting disciplines, including serving as the team doctor of the Kaiser Chiefs football team since 2015. Dr. Ramji received a Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery from University of Witwatersrand and holds a Master of Science in Sports Medicine from the University of Pretoria. He replaces Shoaib Manjra, who served as CMO from August 2019 to March 2024. So very important that he is the new guy. So hopefully things will turn around over there. Clock says such is the life of a fast bowler, right? Injuries always around the corner. Lungingidi even lost his pace, probably on the recommendation that he should bowl within himself to keep fit. But in recent times, in the recent performances from Lungingidi, he really improved his pace in his recent matches for the Proteas, as well as in the SA20. I saw him bowl a lot faster, a lot quicker, and a lot more consistent. He was a lot more consistent with his pace and still managed to get some variations in. This is a massive blow, though. Ruled out of the entire IPL. It's a massive blow for Lungingidi. So that's a massive injury to pick up right now. I think that his place will definitely be probably, or most likely would be in doubt when it comes to the World Cup for him to get ready and fit and everything. He picked up the injury last month. He has a lower back injury that he's trying to recover from. And Cricket South Africa's medical team are doing rehab with him currently. And he's doing it with his province, the Titans. He's only expected to return to play in the second half of the ongoing CSA T20 challenge in April. So he's only going to be coming back in April. So that's the problem with Lungingidi. He's going to be out for a very long time and has been out for a while. Price saying, won't Quina still be at school during the T20 World Cup? Yeah, he probably will be. It's going to be a massive risk-taking Nortje, Coetzee, and Ngidi to a World Cup. 3 players who are coming off long layoffs. Think we need to be sensible and cover ourselves. Bartman and Nortje and Andre is ready, in my opinion. Dex saying Andre is going to be okay, I think. Lauren saying, so out of Nokia and Gidi and Gerald, I'll pick 2. And Gidi is very injury prone and he always seems to break down in matches, which is such a negative. Nortje comes off a major injury. Yeah, so Nortje and Gerald. And then I think we need to think about extras. Um, Either Otniel Bartman or Nandre Berger um, that need to come into the mix as well. PSV St. Berger is the best bowler at the moment after Rabada and Janssen. Clark says, could have done ourselves a favor by keeping Daryl the Pavilion in and around the team setup and build more depth in fast bowling department, but we haven't. I mean, do we really need to? I feel with Nandre coming through, with Otniel coming through, if Otniel gets an opportunity, with Nandre coming through, Otniel coming through, you've got Marco Janssen, you've got Kagiso Rabada, you've got Cheryl Coetzee, you've got Anir Nokia, you've got Lungingiri. Now, obviously, having the backup of having a De Pavilion also in the mix would be interesting. He's not necessarily having the best of seasons so far in general for his franchise. Uh, so he also not getting opportunities to play because of the team and its transformation targets. I think that possibly also leaves him out. He's played 3 matches though in the CSA T20 Challenge, which is more than obviously half of the games, and he's only taken 2 wickets for 8 and an economy of 8. So he's not necessarily having the best competition so far with regards to that. With regards to the T20, the SA20, sorry, the SA T20. I mustn't sound like an amateur saying that. With regards to the SA20, he was okay. He played 8 matches, which is quite a lot, and he got 9 wickets, but he was quite expensive with 9.83 economy rate. So for me personally, I think Otniel Bartman is ahead of the Pavilion in ability, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree. PSV, I'm surprised how Rabada has managed himself very well throughout his career as compared to other bowlers. Um, yeah, I also think it's because of KG's natural bowling action as well. This is why KG is valuable for SA. Yes, he might not be our best T20I bowler, but the guy is always available and ready to play no matter what format. The best ability is availability. You sound like all the fans that speak about United at the moment. Bartman is a solid call. Lawrence says, my pacers for the World Cup would be Rabada, Bartman, Coetzee, Nokia, and between Williams or Berger. Tex says, Lawrence Lungi is also had a horrible SA20. I wouldn't say it was a horrible SA20. Ngidi played 9 matches, took 13 wickets at an economy of 9.67. I don't think he had a horrible SA20. He had a better SA20 than Nandre Berger when it comes to wickets taken, but not when it comes to economy rate. So we would have expected him to be a little bit more economical in his performances, definitely. Bryce says most Proteas fast bowlers had a bad SA20. How about Du Plessis in the T20 World Cup? I don't think it's necessary. It all depends on how he performs in the IPL, though. I don't think it's necessary to bring Faf Du Plessis into the setup. Bryce says Lazard, Nandre, Bartman, Rabada, and Giri are solid, I think. It all depends on how Ngidi recovers from this back injury. Kani says Nokia 16 wickets, economy rate 7.1, KG 6 wickets, economy 9.5, Ngidi 13 wickets, economy 11. The last T20Is, the last 10 T20Is. Thank you for that stats, bro. Kani said definitely KG and Ngidi are leaking too many runs and putting pressure on our bowlers to chase big total. Time to bring in Berger and Bartman for the World Cup. But then we also need to be patient with them and understanding that they might also leak a couple of runs in their first few games as they get as players get familiar with them. So Leaking runs in T20 cricket is part of the game. You are not always going to get it right consistently every single game. There are going to be certain games where you are going to go for runs. So we need to find a balance between both. Realistic Gamer says Swanepoel's performance and the fact that he is useful batsman could help if the guys don't make it. We should have three spinners, I believe, just to cover all bases. Well, we don't know also what the conditions are going to be like in America. There's no idea on what's happening there. I heard that I heard from someone that they are still building certain stadiums there as well, trying to fix or trying to build a stadium there as well. I think in New York. So not everything is complete there for the World Cup. We don't know what the wickets are going to be like necessarily. And I don't know how much Major League Cricket is going to give us insight on that either, because of the, I don't know how much Major League Cricket gave us insight on that. Kani saying our former analyst P Dog lashed out at KG, criticizing his performance in T20s and also mentioning that even newbie batters are coming down the track, smacking him for sixes for fun. There is some tweaks I feel that KG Rabada needs to do to his T20 game. He hasn't been in his best form when it comes to T20 cricket. Particularly when it comes to the domestic scenes. SA20 he's been okay. He wasn't necessarily very good in the T20. I mean, he only took 9 wickets in 10 matches, and his economy was 8.81, which is not as bad as some of the other players that we spoke about a little bit earlier on. But he has struggled a bit in the T20 format, and it's something that he does need to tighten up a bit. Tex says the biggest reason of KG really getting injured is his physique. You can tell the guy is jacked and compare to Lungi's. No surprise why Lungi keeps getting injured. Lungi's also very big boned as well. His frame is very big. He's very broad as well. And he's quite a tall lad as well. But yes, KG is a lot leaner, but also KG's bowling action. It's very smooth. The run-up is very smooth. The follow-through is very smooth. The swing is very smooth. So he doesn't really have many faults in his technique that could aggravate an injury. So I think that also plays a massive role in KG's staying fit. Could SA20 and Giri also experience in T20 as with the economy of 11 since the last 10 T20s? Yeah, his economy needs to be improved. Is Junior Dala worth considering? Not for me personally. 13 wickets in 5 matches, I do understand, but he is very expensive. In the CSA T20 challenge so far, he's played 4 games and taken 5 wickets, but at economy rate of 9.92. Often he goes for that type of economy rate at that level of 9 odd. So that is my concern with regards to him. I think internationally he'll be taken apart. I guess Ryan Rickleton is ready to bat at the top along with Quinn and Riza. We're not talking batters today, brother. Hardy, just look at the stats of KG and tell me why he's our T20 in our 2020 setup. At least tell me a game in T20 as where he made any impact. It's got to do with speed, and I feel that they still got to believe that he can do something in a major game, in a major tournament for South Africa because of the experience that he has. What spinners do you think have earned a call? Keshav, De Brace, and I think Bjorn Fortuin. Lawrence says Lungi is such a good T20 bowler. Definitely our best T20 seamer when fully fit. His change of pace in his format is really good. He takes wickets. The issue, however, is injuries and not being available. Yeah. And that also affects him with regards to fitness and then being able to maintain high levels within a match. And then he gets a bit loose in certain games and can go for some runs. Burbick saying he's in Pan, he's still available. He's still available, but I don't know if they're going to go with him, especially with the performance of Marco Jansen in recent times. I think that Rob Walter at the moment is going to look at the CSA T20 Challenge and look at how they perform in the IPL and then make a decision on these players. And then we'll probably get a better understanding before the West Indies. I think by the West Indies tour, when we go play the T20s against them, we'll have a full understanding of what Rob's squad will be. I fully believe that. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click that notification bell for all future videos. I've been your host, Khalid Modin, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys again for another daily show. Peace out, everyone.